Hey everybody, welcome to the Baby Lock Ovation Serger manual. Today what I want to do is work on page 32, and that page deals with the rolled edging and the rolled hem stitch. And I'm really excited about this little tutorial because one of my friends came over today and I was helping her with a bridal veil she's working on. She wanted to see if she could do a heavier edge using Woolly Nylon, and the results came out beautiful. So I figure I could show you how to do a edging on tulle for a bridal veil, or it could also be the hem on a tulle skirt. And I can show you how to do the rolled hem on page 32. So let's get started with the machine setup. I took the presser foot off so you can see everything. What we're going to do is we're going to put the needle in the O2 position. That's the very right hand needle in the back where the overlock needles go. We're going to set our stitch width at 3.5. Okay, remember we're using the small numbers because we're using the right needle. The larger number is if you have both needles in. That's going to also make the blade really close, and so it's not going to leave a whole lot for the stitch to roll. If you have your cutting blade way out here, notice it's going to leave a lot more fabric, and it's going to be harder for it to roll. So make sure you have it down at 3.5. And then the stitch length is going to be set somewhere between 1 and 2, like, it could be like 1.5. But remember, there's two sets of numbers on the ovation, the 1 to 4 for overlock, standard overlock, and then the rolled edge stitches. And I want to just show you, in addition to setting the stitch length for rolled edge, it also disengages the stitch finger, because you don't want to have that width to support a flat balanced stitch. We want a rolled stitch, so we want to get rid of the stitch finger. And so I want you to watch up here. I'm going to switch to the rolled edge stitch length and watch what happens. The stitch finger is going to disengage as I turn the dial. Ready? See how it's disengaging? So that's really nice. You don't have to remember to disengage it separately. And I'm going to put us on, let's say 1.5 for now. Alright, so I've got all of that set up. You want to make sure your stitch selector is on D, and what that's going to do for you is it's going to tighten the lower looper thread, and that's important on a rolled edge stitch, because what's going to happen is as the stitch is formed, that tight lower looper is going to pull the upper looper thread around like this and cause the thread to wrap around and roll the fabric. So that's why we want the stitch selector on D. I'm going to use standard serger thread in the lower looper and in the needle, and then I'm going to put this metallic woolly nylon in the upper looper, and that's what's going to wrap around the edge. And you can see it's really pretty. It's white with a silver metallic. All right, so let's start with the lower looper. I'm going to stick it back here in that guide and under this guide, and I'm just going to floss it back and forth to make sure it's in there really well. I'm going to leave that for a second, and I'm going to switch my threading. I'm going to switch from serging to threading here, and then I want you to watch over here. What's going to happen is as I turn the hand wheel towards me, the air system is going to close off so we can whoosh it through with the air feeding system. Watch over here. Okay, hear that click? And you can see that it's the path is complete now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself about a 20-inch tail, and then I'm going to stick in the tip of the thread in the L port, which is for lower looper, and I'm going to press the feeding, and see how easily that whooshed through. Now let's do the upper looper. One of the reasons why I like to use metallic woolly nylon is that because it's wrapped with the metallic thread, you don't have to use a thread cradle to get the specialty thread through the feeding system. You can just feed it through with the air system, which is really nice. So I'm going to stick it in the U port for upper looper, and I'm going to press air feeding, and there it is. Isn't that wonderful? Alright, so now I'm going to switch this back to serge, and I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to just do my last thread, my O2 or right needle. I'm going to pass under here and over there and behind here. Okay, so see how my blade is right in the way? I'm just going to put that down for a second, and that makes it so much easier for me to thread my needle. Okay, it lets me line the thread up much easier. And then before I put the blade back up, I'm just going to go ahead and reattach my presser foot, and that way everything will be ready to go. Alright, now I can put my blade back up. Alright, so now let's talk about the tool we're going to use. This is just a standard piece of tulle, and if you tried to do the edge without any stabilizer, it would eat up the edge and it would not stay on the edge because it's such a fine fabric and it's got a lot of holes in it. So what I'm going to use, I've cut some strips of this wash away stabilizer. It's Super Solvy from Sulky. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that underneath the tool, and I'm going to feed them both in there, you know, so they're both under the foot. And then I'm going to put the foot down, and I'm going to start stitching, and we're going to see how it comes out. Alright, as I go along, if I'm working with a curved edge of a tulle veil, I would use smaller pieces of this, and I would just sort of add them as I needed them to go around a corner. And basically, you're just going to keep doing this all the way around. I'm gonna just go off the edge now. All right, so let me put something. Let me put a piece of something colored behind here so you can see how neat this is. All right, so you can see that that's a really pretty decorative edge. And to remove the sulky, if you just tear away, okay, it just tears right away. You don't even have to wet it. Okay, so look at how nice that is. It's going to stand out. Okay, it's not going to be soft and drapey. If you want your edge of your veil to lay soft and drapey, then what you're going to want to do is just dip the whole edge of your veil into a big bowl of hot water and just let it soak for a little bit, and the stabilizer will come out, and then it'll be softer. You can also use, this is Super Solvy, so if you want your edge to stand up and be a little bit rigid, use this and don't rinse it out. You can also get some of the lighter weight solvables. They also make a lightweight wash away, and then you could leave it in and it'll have, you know, less firmness. So that's how you do a rolled hem using your Woolly Nylon. All right, so that's how you do a rolled edge on tulle. And, you know, keep in mind you have all those different options for different weight stabilizers to add body, or you can rinse it out. Okay, so you have options for how you want it to be. You're not going to wreck it by using a heavy stabilizer because you certainly can rinse it out after if it's too stiff. If you have any questions about this or comments, please let me know. I'm sorry that I haven't been putting videos up as regularly. I'm almost finished with my fashion serging technique class for patternreview.com. And if you like what you're seeing here and use your serger to sew garments, you're going to love that class because I have all sorts of fun techniques and tips to use on garments. And I'm very excited about it. So I hope you will join me there as well. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.